Do you trust God to provide? Here are some words of wisdom that may change how you think about God, yourself, and the future. Matthew chapter 6, verse 31 through 33. So do not worry, saying, "What shall we eat?" or "What shall we drink?" or "What shall we wear?" For the pagans run after all these things, and your heavenly Father knows that you need them. But seek first His kingdom and His righteousness, and all these things will be given to you as well. What are these verses about? Matthew, one of Jesus' 12 disciples, is the author of this book. In this particular passage, Matthew is recounting Jesus' teaching to his disciples and followers in the well-known Sermon on the Mount. Pay attention to the first word in this passage. Whenever a verse starts with the word so, therefore, or however, it is an indication that the verse is related in an important way to the verse that precedes it. Starting 6 verses prior to the chosen passage, Jesus is pointing out how our Heavenly Father considers and provides for the needs of the birds and flowers. Then how much more so will He take care of us and our needs? He also points out the frailty and temporary nature of our plans and self-reliant preparations. Given that we are infinitely more valuable to Him because we are His children and made in His image, we should never be consumed with worry about material things. God made us, knows us, is aware of our needs, and sees the future. He has also promised to take care of us. Given all of that, it seems a waste of time and energy to overly focus on those things. The Israelites are a great example of this. God delivered them from exile and led them into the desert wilderness to make their way to the promised land. During their journey, against all logical explanation, God provided supernaturally for their basic needs. He delivered manna every day and in just the right amount for their daily needs. He also brought along quail when they complained they needed meat. And finally, miraculously, their clothes and shoes never wore out during the entire 40-year trek. God is a good Father and delights in taking care of us and seeing us content. However, that isn't the only reason for His provisions. God also wants to free up our time and energy to be able to invest in our spiritual needs, relationship with Him, and the kingdom's work. I am reminded of a basic psychological concept by Abraham Maslow called Maslow's hierarchy of needs, which is like a ladder of human needs. It starts with the most basic things we need to survive at the base of the ladder, such as food, shelter, and water, and goes up to higher rungs on the ladder that represent needs such as love, safety, and belonging. The idea is that you need to satisfy the lower needs before you can climb up or fully focus on the higher ones. It's like building a strong foundation before adding to the next level to your life. Of course, our Creator would know this about us and has kindly given us the chance to really focus and develop our spiritual self and relationship with Him by providing for our basic needs. Finally, living in our fallen world with the devil prowling all the time, we are wrongly encouraged to overly focus on our basic needs and make that the priority that consumes our minds, time, and resources. The devil delights in our distraction. Anything to keep us from the kingdom's work and our relationship with God is worthwhile to him. There is nothing wrong with enjoying the pleasures that God has provided for us. But overly focusing on material things such as bank accounts, clothing, and food will serve to distract us from the true satisfaction and contentment that only comes from God. Thanks for joining us today. Subscribe and share this video with someone who needs to feel God's comfort and hope today.